Hey, welcome back to the Max Revenue Show. In this video, you're going to see a live cold call with me and a prospect. Just to give you some background, this was a person that I initially called 2 years ago and we spoke again last year. Nothing ever materialized, haven't spoke to in about a year. So technically, it's maybe a warm call, but I still consider it a cold call. And just watch this video because it's kind of cool. You can kind of see a couple different components of it. She, of course, comes out the gate with pretty much kind of like, yeah, we're pretty happy, and so you kind of see me kind of talk through that with her. And then she comes out with, yeah, we're totally fine getting quotes at about the 3-minute, 36-second mark. And you see my response there and how I navigate that. And then at the 6-minute mark, I explain basically why quoting doesn't really make sense, but maybe the scenarios where it could make sense. And so essentially this call is what happens a lot, which is first call or a cold call that essentially just bleeds into a full-blown first meeting. And at the end of the call, she agrees to send policies. So they don't always go like this, but I happened to capture one today and wanted to share with y'all. So hope you enjoy. Alice with Christensen Group out of Austin. I don't expect you to remember me. We've talked actually about a year ago was the last time, just briefly about the insurance for your company on the commercial side. And it really kind of just left off. I know you had the same agent for like 23 years, and you said maybe down the road you might be open to doing some sort of due diligence. I just wanted to circle back here. It's been about a year. I didn't know if you've seen costs continue to go up, or if not, and you're totally happy, that's cool too. I just wanted to circle back with you.
Yeah, no, yes, our insurance did go up. Everybody's did, but as far as, us having any issues or anything like that, no, we're fine. It's
Sure.
just, but yeah, we all had increases in everything. It doesn't matter if it's property taxes or car insurance or, homeowners insurance. It doesn't matter, or insurance with the company, with your general liability or auto or whatever. It didn't matter. Everything went up. We all experienced that. But, other than that, everything's good.
Okay. I guess, would you ever be open to getting someone else to look at the costs and just kind of give you an opinion? Like, hey, it looks like, either A, yes, you're in the best spot, nothing can be, improved, or maybe there is some opportunity for, savings with a carrier you've never seen before, maybe, or something like that. I just don't know if that would be something you'd be open to discussing.
Well, we always accept quotes from other people. That's not a problem. The problem is that the type of, with our insurance, there's not a specific, and I think we talked about this before, there's not a specific category for athletic field, services or businesses or anything like that. We basically are considered to be landscape companies.
Correct.
So everything's always kind of pieced together according to what we do and our scope of work and that kind of thing. So it becomes difficult for people to try to put things together because they don't understand the dynamic of the company.
Exactly.
And so it becomes an issue. And that's why, I don't have any problem with somebody sending me a quote or anything like that. That's not a problem for me. What becomes a problem is that because they don't understand my industry, I spend a lot of time on the phone just to get a number that when I do get might be $100 cheaper than what I'm already paying. And I'm not going to change for something like that.
Sure.
It's got to be big money.
Yeah.
$100 is not worth my time.
Yeah.
To start filling out paperwork or trying to get with another insurance company. So, it's like I said, I've always accepted quotes. That's not an issue. The issue is the fact if you don't know my industry, you don't know what I do, it's hard for you to put something together. Auto's pretty easy. Workman's comp is pretty easy. But when you get into GL and you get into what we do and you have to start piecing everything together to be able to get us the coverage that we need for, what we do, it becomes a problem because people don't understand it. And I get that. Yep. It's not a cut and dry situation. Yeah. If I was a landscape company and that's all I did, whether it's residential or commercial, and I said, hey, I need insurance for that, that's one thing. But I'm not. No. And so things that apply to them don't apply to me. So it's just basically trying to get the right information to be able to get the right quote, for what we do that basically requires the coverage that we need for our contracts.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, and to your point, I think wasting time is, no one has time to waste, right? And so it's like you don't want to be educating an agent or, spending hours on the phone with an underwriter.
Right.
And that's kind of one of the reasons I take the approach I do, where I'm not out here looking to necessarily get quotes first. It's more so what I typically tell people is, if I can review your current program as is, I have a general idea of what you do, and I know it is niche, and I have some carriers in mind, and it's more not going to get quotes. It's more doing some market research, right, on my end, looking at the rates I see, and then coming back to you and saying, hey, Kelly, this is what I found. I think there is some opportunity. I think we can save you. And you use the word big bucks. I mean, I don't know if that means 10,000 or 100,000, but
Right.
it's different to everybody, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so I come back and either we can help or we can't. But I do that because it takes maybe 10 minutes of investment in your time just sending me policies, and then I just do some research and some due diligence, and then come back and kind of give you my thoughts and see where we could go from there. And there is a lot of times we can't help people. I would just say, hey, Kelly, sorry, you are in the best spot. Hanover or whoever you're with has got an excellent program, excellent pricing. But on the flip side, like just this last month, I helped two contractors. One guy we saved $164,000, and I'm not making the number up. It was insane. I had been with his agent 30 years, and then the other lady was we saved about $43,000. Same scenarios, but both people were happy with their agent. And they were like, yeah, we could maybe get a quote. I said, well, before doing that, would you ever be open to just kind of getting a second opinion first to see if that even would make sense, because quoting might not. And I don't want to waste your time. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're absolutely not wasting my time, because you and I have talked before, so you know where I'm coming from when it comes to, the information. But yeah, I mean, I'm always open to everything, when it comes to something like that, because I mean, who want to save money?
Yep.
But like I said, if it's drastic, well, absolutely. But I mean, if we're just talking about, nickels and dimes and things like that, well, absolutely not, and Correct. As long as everybody knows that going forward, it's all good.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, absolutely. I don't have any problem with that whatsoever.
Okay. Yeah. So, I'm with you. And I'm not going to come back and make mountains out of molehills, or, I only come back and I only try to go down the quoting path if I think there's literally a carrier that maybe your current agent doesn't even have. Maybe there's a unique contract we have, or maybe there's just some reason they've just never been approached. Well, then sure, because as you know, your agent can go to any market I can go to if we all have the same contracts. That doesn't matter either. So part of it's that I'm a proponent of using one agent. But you're happy with the service, so I know it would be a cost play, right? Pretty much. I mean, and obviously service and quality of coverage has to be equal, if not better as well. So, well, yeah, if you're open to it, I can just send you an email. I kind of have my notes here. I think, do you still have the Gmail address?
Yes.
Okay, You're fine with it. I can just send you an email, just kind of saying, "Hey, Kelly, send me the policies, and we can get started with just reviewing that, and I can do some research, and I can get back to you. Give me 2 weeks and let you know kind of some thoughts, and if it makes sense to maybe proceed from there."
Okay.
Yeah. No, and not looking to do anything too invasive, just kind of an initial overview, like some research, see if we can help or not, and see where it goes from there. So, all right. So a lot going on with that call. Just some background. I had talked to that lady, Kelly, since 2023. We talked once in 2023, once in 2024 last year, and she kind of just said no thanks last year to even doing some due diligence. This year followed up again, and you saw the conversation was a little bit, I think, went decent. We'll see if she follows through on getting me what she promised. A couple of things I want to point out here that are important is I always say, warm calls or cold calls today equal warm calls tomorrow. This is case in point of that. I would call this kind of a warm call. You've seen, if you watch any of my other calls, when I call people back, I say, hey, does my name ring a bell? We talked, and give us some reference of who I am. I only say that if it's true, by the way. And she did remember me. And I'd say about a third of the people do. So that was really positive. You can kind of see she was kind of immediately shutting me down. And you have that one moment where you can kind of, what do you do with it, right? And you can see that on the call, trying to extend the conversation, trying to ask some questions, but also trying to clarify throughout the call. Like she mentioned big bucks. You could tell, well, I don't know what you mean by big bucks. Also, one thing that I've noticed is kind of grabs people's attention is if you talk cost a little bit. So you heard me say, I don't know if you've seen costs go up. I know everyone's seen their costs go up, right? So I kind of throw that out there, and I've noticed a lot of people grab onto it. Now, it doesn't mean I'm selling on price, but it is a good conversation starter, and it kind of opens the door because they maybe just complain to you, right? They vent, and then all of a sudden it just extends the conversation. And again, with the due diligence, one of the things we are looking for is someone potentially overpaying, and that could be either just due to the broker sucking, it could be due to laziness, it could be due to not having the right contracts, misclassified. There's a million different reasons that could come about. But again, we're not selling just on price. That's just one of the angles from the due diligence. So, anyways, a lot in that call. Hopefully, you found some value in it, and yeah. So we'll see what happens if she actually comes through this year and gets me the policy, so we can do the due diligence.